Generating traffic and sales can be a challenge for online merchants. But selling on the Walmart Marketplace puts your products in front of millions of customers who shop on Walmart.com. And right now, sellers who join Walmart Marketplace can save up to 50% on referral and fulfillment fees for the first 90 days. So get started today. Head over to marketplace.walmart.com/savings. That's marketplace.walmart.com/savings.
Today's podcast is sponsored by SLI Systems, providers of intelligent site search and navigation solutions. Learn more at sli-systems.com and listen to their interviews at ecommercepodcast.com.
Your path to e-commerce success starts right here. You're listening to Practical E-commerce, the podcast for e-commerce results.
We're talking today with Kevin Watts, the Director of E-commerce for Organize.com. And Organize.com is regarded as one of the Internet's top sites, and we're excited to talk with Kevin about some of the success the site has had, how it has evolved, some of the tools that it uses. And Kevin, we appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much.
Let's begin by talking a little bit about the business in general. And as I understand, it has evolved from a brick-and-mortar organization to one that also incorporates an online business. Maybe you can speak to that, some of the business's history, and then kind of when the online operation began.
Well, we started our business in 1998 just because we were unsure about where you could go to find organizational products, shelving, boxes, bins, hangers, and storage systems. You just couldn't go to one particular place, particularly in our area, to buy all of that under one roof. There was the Walmarts, there was the Targets, there was the Bed Bath & Beyond, but there wasn't one place locally in our area where a consumer could go to buy that product all at one time. So we developed the need for a store like that, and we opened our first retail store in November of 1998, and started thinking about internet, especially when we first started, because it was something that was evolving a lot. You know, we noticed there was the Amazons out there, there were the eBays, but we weren't sure how our type of product, which is really a feel-good type of product, was going to, how well that was going to do online, and how people would understand without touching and feeling it, how that product would help them make their lives easier.
When did the online product itself actually elevate? When did that start?
We launched our first site early in 1999, just after we opened up our first retail store. We launched with about 200 products to begin with. When we first started putting products on there, how are we going to create a story to somebody that can't, touch and feel and see how it looks and how it's going to work for them? So what we did was offer really good description, offered really clear pictures, and then included the size and dimensions of all of our products, so that it was really, without actually being able to see the product in person, we tried to give a good enough story to the customer to explain to them how this product works and why they needed it.
How challenging is that? Because clearly that's an issue that many e-commerce merchants face, of how to bridge that touch and feel barrier.
When we started, obviously being a smaller business, and still considering us small to medium-sized business, we have to start with what we had. We had vendor images, we had vendor, copy and features. But what we did is, and what I feel is really important, is invested in good copywriters. We have people that all they do is write about the product. You could be looking at 50 different trash cans, and they can write a description about all 50 trash cans. And I know for me it was tough, because when we first started, I was trying to do a lot of that work. And you get down to the last trash can, and you go, there's not much more I can say except that it holds trash.
Right.
So we invested in some good copywriters and people that could tell the story of a product and really touch their emotions and their senses about how this product would ultimately, give them more time in their day, free up what otherwise might be a very chaotic lifestyle.
Do you market through shopping search engines, or are there catalogs? Are there any other tools that you all deploy to promote sales?
Right. One of our challenges was providing data feeds for all these different shopping comparison engines. And so we entered into a partnership with Mercent just over about a year and a half ago. And what they're doing is taking our product data feeds and submitting them to shopping.com, shop.com, Shopzilla, BizRate, PriceGrabber. For us, it makes it a lot easier than trying to manage a feed for each of those. So going under or partnering up with Mercent and kind of putting everything under one roof there has helped us manage those data feeds and get our products onto these shopping comparison engines. Besides the standard shopping comparison engines, we also have a partnership with Amazon.com, where we're in their merchant marketplace. And then we also in a partnership with Cooking.com, where we sell and sell storage and organization products through their sites, and then we manage everything from our warehouse here in Riverside.
Well, that started here with a brick and mortar, so clearly staffing and probably the organization's and kind of entire setup was set around kind of more of a traditional brick and mortar feel. If overall estimated sales are around 10 million for 2006, clearly the bulk of that's in the online area. That's probably changed your internal dynamic as well in terms of your online operation fulfillment. From a staffing standpoint, is that true? I mean, has really kind of everything shifted toward really the online sales in terms of staffing and focus?
We run everything right now out of our warehouse, as opposed to what we used to do is running everything out of our retail store. We shifted all of our offices to we have a 42,000 square foot warehouse here in Riverside, which is about 8 miles from our retail store. And we currently, in our retail store, we stock about 70% of the products that we sell online. The rest, the other 30%, we drop ship, and that's true with our online business as well. We are stocking 70% right here in Riverside, and then drop shipping just about 30%. So the online portion of our business has really truly taken over. We are now supplying our brick and mortar store through our internet warehouse here.
I see that you use a Yahoo shopping cart, or have a Yahoo store, I guess. How did you go about deciding to use Yahoo?
We actually launched on a very open source platform when we originally deployed our first site in 1999. We went to Yahoo just about in about 2000, 2001. The reason being, it was a lot easier interface for us to use. We're not, and we didn't start off as e-commerce gurus. We didn't know all the little tricks and techniques, and we didn't have the staff. We were operating on a very tight budget, and we realized that by going to Yahoo, we could launch a site that looked very professional with little to no knowledge about e-commerce websites and how to build them and how to manage them. We're currently, we've outgrown the Yahoo platform, and we're just about to launch a new site on a different platform, again, in about the next month. That should be live.
Is that a licensed software? Are you all customizing a product?
We're customizing the product. It's all open source again.
Your current system that integrates some order management function, obviously your Mercent, the one that's doing your data feeds, and there are probably other tools you'd use for different products. Has that integrated well with your current operation, or have there been any particular technology struggles to kind of pull all of those operations together that you might could share so that maybe others can learn from mistakes or others can learn from challenges that you all may have made in this tremendous growth process?
It is always a challenge when you take on a different outside vendor of how they're going to integrate with your company. I think the hardest part is making sure the reporting is there and making sure that we're getting the most out of our products. We have a partnership with Mercent and a partnership with Mercado to do our internal site search. In both of those are two biggest projects that we've taken on and outside vendors that we've worked with. And that's, both of those, I have to say, because of the team that we're working on their side, helped us, being a little bit of a smaller business, to help us integrate with our IT guys. And I think both of them only took about 2.5 to 3 months to deploy both of those. So we've been very lucky with the vendors that we've selected, and We partner with people that are willing to partner with a company our size. We tell them right up front that by no means are do we operate a huge IT staff. We don't. We have 2 people here, and they are operating our servers and managing everything from an IT standpoint. So being able to carefully select the vendors that you're going to work with and making sure that they realize the level that you're at and the amount of work that you can take on. To this point, we've been lucky with who we've worked with.